Australia, Canada, Italy, the United Kingdom, and the US. What do all these countries have in common? China and Mexico. What do these two countries have in common? The former are countries that have laws to help protect animals from animal cruelty, and the later are countries that do not have laws against animal cruelty but are trying to get some passed. Animal rights is the belief that animals have a right to be free of human use and exploitation. There are many reasons as to why animals should have rights, some type of rights, but I would like to tell you about 5 of them. They are why animals should have rights, why animal testing is wrong, how animal testing is harmful to humans, why justifications for animal use are wrong, and how the U.S. is taking animal rights more serious. Animals should have rights. Animal rights supporters believe animals matter as individuals. They have their own values separate from how useful they are to humans, and every creature has a right to live free from pain and suffering. Prejudice is what allows humans to deny others the rights that we expect to have ourselves. Animal rights is a social movement and philosophy that challenges society views that all other animals exist for human use. The basic principle of equality requires equal consideration, not equal or identical treatment. Philosopher Jeremy Bogan has once said, when deciding on a being's rights, the question isn't can they reason nor can they talk, but can they suffer. He meant that if an animal can suffer, they deserve rights to equal consideration. On December in 2013, there were 4 captured chimps in New York that became the first non-human primate to sue their captor in an attempt to regain freedom. Their lawyers were members of an organization called the Non-Human Rights Project. What they wanted for the chimps was that the judge would grant them the basic rights to not be imprisoned illegally. Animals have similar qualities to humans. Out of 12 brain regions found in humans, 11 of them were found to correspond in the macaques, which is an old monkey. Comparative genomic analysis proved that chimps share nearly 99% of human DNA. We have interchangeable blood with the chimps, which allows for transfusions as long as the blood type matches. Why we shouldn't test drugs on animals. Daily existence in labs is not good for them. They suffer pain and severe stress on a day-to-day basis. They spend their life in barren cages. The standard lab condition is small, crowded cages, loud noises, and bright lights that create stress and can in turn turn to physical signs of stress. They experience ongoing mental and physical suffering from endless boredom, confinement, fear, and emotional stress. Testing household products and cosmetics is unnecessary on animals. Having a new lipstick or furniture polish seems frivolous to maim, blind, kill hundreds of thousands of rabbits. Some say experimenting on animals for the sake of science with no immediate change in human health is unnecessary because the suffering of animals outweighs the human curiosity. There are unreliable animal testing. 95% of drugs that have promising results on animals fail in human trials. Out of 93 dangerous drug side effects, only 19% of them could have been predicted during animal testing. The dangers of animal testing. Vioxx, which is a drug used to treat arthritis, was found safe when tested on monkeys but caused 320,000 heart attacks and strokes and caused 140,000 deaths. Only 1/3 of substances that cause cancers in humans have actually been seen to show cancers in animals. Animal testing is harmful to humans. 90% of drugs that are tested safe and effective in animals can be harmful and ineffective in humans. Misleading safety tests hurt humans. 6 human volunteers in 2006 were injected with TGN-1412. Within minutes, the humans were on the floor withering in pain. The compound was made to decrease the immune response, but instead it increased theirs. TGN-1412 was tested on mice, rabbits, rats, and monkeys and had no ill side effects. Misleading animal experience caused scientists to throw away cures. Every 5,000 to 10,000 drugs tested in labs, only 5 of them pass the clinical trials. Many of them don't pass on animal tests because of species-specific results. Many of these agents could have worked and been safe in humans. Aspirin, which is one of our most relied upon pain relievers, caused tetragenic malformations in many animals, including mice, rats, dogs, rabbits, and cats and monkeys. Tamoxifen, which is one of our most effective drugs against breast cancer, caused tumors in rats that didn't carry over into human trials. Reasons why justifications for animal use are wrong. One justification is that animals do not deserve rights because they don't have duties. This is wrong because all creatures have a purpose in life. An example is the white birds that stand on cattle. They eat the ticks off of the cattle, which in turn give them energy to help perform their job. Their job is to drop seeds around and make plants. A couple of other examples are hawks that eat carrion and dogs that help the blind. If we don't allow creatures that do not have duties rights, then that would mean babies or people with mental illnesses would not have rights. Another justification is that rights come from the ability to think, not the ability to suffer. This is wrong because if rights are given to creatures that can think, then some humans, like babies and the mentally incapacitated, don't deserve rights, and some non-human animals with the ability to think like humans deserve rights. And no one is willing to argue for this reality where only the most intellectual of various species deserve rights. The ability to suffer makes sense because the purpose of rights is to ensure that those who can suffer are given rights, and if they are not recognized, they aren't allowed to suffer unduly. The U.S. is taking animal rights more serious. They are having FBI reclassification of animal abuse. Animal abuse is going to be considered a crime against society. This allows the FBI to collect and track information about animal abuse and give them the opportunity to increase the probability of harsher punishments. Animal abusers will be trialed in the same category as murderers are. Harsher punishments on a state level. They are enacting stricter punishments. For example, in Georgia, a pit bull was stabbed 24 times and left to die. The attacker was charged with felony aggravated animal cruelty. Factory farm workers are being punished. In factory farm, animals are abused every day even though they are not in the public eye. This will be changing soon because Mercy for Animals conducted an undercover investigation at Foster Farm and found rampant abuse of animals in the factory farms. An example is employees were roughly handling chickens. They were punching and plucking the chickens, and they were throwing them on the ground and boiling them alive. At Winchester Dairy, this will be changing too because they fired some of its employees because they saw a video of them kicking, punching, and shocking the cows. For these 5 reasons and many more, I would hope that you would agree with me that it is time for the U.S. to give animals some kind of rights and not treat them like they are things that do not have feelings or suffer. As our 16th president once said, Abraham Lincoln once said, "I am in favor of animal rights as well as human rights. That is the way of being a whole human being." And as Temple Grandin has once said, "I think using animals for food is an ethical thing to do, but we've got to do it right. We've got to give the animals a decent life, and we've got to give them a painless death. We owe the animals that respect."